Public mic.
PA mic. this is the public mic, but, and then when they
I
oh
might not.
come on,
No, I know, but I might not. I just I'll get in the way of that. Sit in front, and I just hold it up.
and these mics.
Thank you. Wait a minute. What's your first name?
Winnie.
It is Winnie. Okay, okay. I knew that. I was like, but I
We
haven't.
email, but
feel
I don't like see
I
real
know. I
people.
feel like
They
I
don't
don't.
allow me out.
I left my phone in the cafeteria.
Go
Can
get
I
it.
get
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. Go get it. So go down those stairs, and you'll be in the lobby. You will go left. So they're so funny. They're like, and I'm like, yeah. My daughter's
I see a sixth grader.
I have 16-year-olds.
Who's your sixth grader?
Sophia Juliana.
Will be just one more minute. We apologize for the slight delay, press of business, but we will be getting started presently.
Since the students are here, we can flip the order. Have the students go first. if that's okay.
Into your report?
Well, I mean, or I can just say my report quickly.
Okay, we'll do it that way.
They can see government in action.
The board met tonight in executive session. We're now ready to continue with the public portion of our meeting, starting with written communications. The board did not have any written communications addressed to the full board since our last meeting, so no written communications right now. The president's report, I will make it short because we have students here, and also I know we all want to get home before the impending storm. It is the celebration season, and there have been, I know all of you probably will be going to different celebrations depending on the grade levels involved, but last week I went to the Ridgewood Avenue School Science Fair, which was wonderful. You know, we all worry so much about our kids and the effects of COVID on their learning, but I spoke to the students who were exhibiting there, and I was just blown away by their experiments, their articulateness when they described what they were doing, their presentations. It was really enough to, if you lost a little faith during COVID, it was enough to restore your faith. I also, Kristen O'Neill and I went, along with Dirk, went over to Forest Avenue School, now I guess 2 weeks ago, to the dedication of the Rob Roberts Buddy Bench, which if you happen to go by Forest, take a look at it. It's beautiful. It's a great tribute to Officer Roberts. His family was there. The whole student population of Forest were there. And again, it's an event, you know, we celebrate that life that was so important to this community. And it was just a lovely thing. And then on Friday, June 3rd, we have in person the annual academic awards ceremony, which is for high school seniors and some high school juniors receiving their end of the year academic awards. And it is always extraordinarily inspiring, particularly when you think about what our high school kids have come through and come through successfully. So I take pleasure in these celebrations, in the in-person nature, in the fact that our students have gone forward, that we've all gotten through, and our students, the ones that are seniors are mostly ready to go. The other ones are making progress. I encourage you to go to all the happy events because honestly, it makes you remember why we all do what we do. And that is the president's report, superintendent's report.
Speaking of happy events, Ridgewood Avenue School recently had their play. It's always a tremendous event with a great number of students participating in their play. And I reached out to their director / producer / organizer / fundraiser, Heather Ballantyne, to ask her if she could bring in a small group of students to perform for us, and we're fortunate to have them here tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to Heather.
Thank you. You guys can stand on up. I brought 1/10 of our cast. We had 116 cast members. We had 32 stage crew members. We had 16 bow ties, 5 surfboards, 20 cheerleader costumes. We had over 600 individual props. We had 1,000 programs printed. 90 stuffed Chihuahua dogs were purchased. Too many OMG lines to count. You know this is Dr. Donovan's notes. And we actually had one real dog in the show. So, and I was super proud of them. We had a really great weekend. We had 3 shows, and it was nice to be together with a full audience and a full cast. So we have a little bit of the opening number from Legally Blonde Jr., and then we have a duet right afterwards.
Dear L, he's a lucky guy. I'm like gonna cry. I got tears coming out of my nose. Mad props, he's the campus catch. You're a perfect match, 'cause you both got such great taste in clothes. Of course he will propose. Dear L, honey, muzzle top, features taken off. Bring that ring back and show it to me. 4 carats, princess cut. Are you psyched or what? I just wish I could be there to see. When he gets down on one knee. Oh my God, you guys. Looks like Elle's gonna win the prize. If there ever was a perfect couple, this one qualifies. Oh my God, you guys. Oh my God, this is happening. Our homecoming queen and king. Finally she'll be trying on a huge engagement ring for size. Oh my God, you guys. Oh my God. Shut up, Elle! Shut up, Warner! Shut up, Engage! Oh my God! Okay, everybody sign. Good now, fall in line. And we'll start the engagement parade. Light candles and single file. Don't forget to smile. In some case, you look like the May. Sorry. Now prepare to serenade. T3-4. Daughter Delta New. Soon to be fiancé. Now that I chose you, your life begins today. Still in your hour of need, let it be understood. No man can supersede our sacred bond of sisterhood. Oh my God, you guys. Guys, she's not here. Bruiser, where's Elle? She doesn't have an engagement outfit? And she's totally freaking out? And she's trapped in the Old Valley Mill? Oh, sorry, the Old Valley Mall. Oh my God, you guys. Fashion crisis to supervise. No one should be left alone to dress her to accessorize. Oh my God, you guys. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
And finally, we have a duet with Chloe and Austin. Chloe played Elle Woods, and Austin played Emmett Forrest. But we don't have your wig with you today. But envision her with a blonde wig. Thank you, Mr. Phillips, for inviting us. I wish we could do it all over again. It was such a fun
Truly
show.
our pleasure.
Thank you so much.
We greatly enjoyed that. Thank you guys for attending tonight's session. Don't feel that you have to stay around for the rest of it.
It's true. We love it when people stay, but we know you have other commitments.
I have members of the Glen Ridge High School Black Student Union here to talk about their club that was formed a couple years ago. They're going to talk a little bit about their mission and some activities that they've done since the start of the club. So they're advised by two staff members, Tia Gist and Kendall Sutherland. And I'm pleased to call up Taylor Jeff, Allison Nag Haynes, Brian Musako, and Amaya Melbourne. If you guys can come up to the podium and tell us about your club.
Miking is good.
Hello. Okay. Hello. So, as you know, we are the Black Student Union, and we as the Black Student Union wanted to create a community where we could talk about Black issues and even microaggressions that we face in the school. Since this school is predominantly white, we felt that we weren't able to converse the same way as we do with people of color. So this club has brought the Glen Ridge people of color together and helped them find their voice.
All right, again, thank you for letting us speak. Our club tries to meet every Tuesday, and the number of members joining our club keeps growing. We do many activities involving minority student issues, interactive lessons, and a lot of group work. One of our most recent lessons we spoke about was the Black National Anthem and if it should be sung at sporting events. Also, one we have spoken about in the last 2 years of our club is being a minority student at Glen Ridge High School. This was one of our most engaging lessons, and a lot of the students at our club, including myself, spoke about challenges of being a minority in this school. Thankfully, we have this club now where we can share these experiences in a safe space. We also have a lot of non-minority students in our club who want to learn about our culture and experiences as much as we do. This makes everyone feel included and supported by one another. As the representatives of this club, we strive for a diverse and inclusive community for all students to feel welcome, and Black Student Union has provided us with that. So thank you for letting us have this club. For future generations of Black Student Union members, we hope that they are able to visit HBCUs, museums, and have guest speakers to engage more people in our club. Thanks again for letting us speak.
Thank you, though.
Thank you.
Very considerate. Thank you, we appreciate it. You know, the district is continuing to strive in making sure that we're moving forward in DEI initiatives, and this was just one of many. We thank you for your participation, and you know, invite me again. I enjoyed that when I attended earlier this year, and I will continue to attend as long as I'm welcomed and help you guys out in any way possible. So we appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I know along those lines, there's an AAPI event this Friday at the high school that our Chinese teacher, Shihang Zhang, will be leading. So there's another event that's happening. I'm going to recognize two individuals tonight, and I'm going to get up. Every year we get to recognize our salutatorian and valedictorian, and this is a time of year that I say that they go on a tour because there's so many different events that they have. They eat a lot of chicken at these events, but it's nice because they deserve all the recognitions that they are receiving. And I'm going to first call up the class of 2022 salutatorian, Evan Rossi. Evan, if you can come up here. Congratulations. I'm going to read off some of his stats here, which are quite impressive. Evan has a GPA of 4.68. He has taken 21 courses at the high school that were either honors or AP level. He's an AP capstone diploma candidate, and recently he was a representative for Glen Ridge for the NJSIAA Scholar Athlete Award. Outside of the classroom, he's been a 4-year varsity track and field athlete. He's a member of the Glen Ridge High School Environmental Club. He was recently recognized, I think at the last meeting, right, for finishing second in a national Chinese language speaking competition. He has worked with the Democratic Socialists of America and Citizens Climate Lobbying chapters, spent a summer lobbying members of Congress to take action on climate change, and he volunteers with local soup kitchens. This fall, Evan will be attending Columbia University. Congratulations. I know that's a very humbling experience to be up here and hear people read your stats. Our valedictorian, Mia, can you come up here? Mia Ihatam is our valedictorian. Congratulations. Mia has a GPA of 4.82. 21 courses at the honors and AP level. She is a member of the National Honor Society, the Hispanic Honor Society, the Math Honor Society, and the Computer Honor Society. She is an active member of Science League, Environmental Club, Feminist Club, and the Spanish Club. Vice President of the Model UN Club and captain of the girls varsity tennis team. She is proficient in both Spanish and French. Mia gives back to her community through her participation as a volunteer at the Glen Ridge Public Library. I don't know when she finds time to sleep, but we're very proud of her, and she will be attending McGill University in the fall. Congratulations. So last week, I believe they were at the County Val Sal dinner, and I know there'll be other events on the horizon for them. So I'm going to give you our update, district update. I first want to just touch base on a little bit on the COVID-19 numbers in the district in the last few weeks. As I had previously mentioned, after April break, we started seeing some of the numbers rise. We had 2 buildings 2 weeks ago that really started hitting some high numbers. Then the numbers started to drop a little bit last week. Ridgewood Avenue, it does have some high numbers, and I think that's the large event that they had at the school for a few weeks might have contributed to those high numbers. We're hoping to see those numbers go down this week and next week. We have adjusted some of our protocols as I sent out in a parent letter. If we are having 3 or more cases in a classroom, we are going to require students and teachers to wear a mask for 5 days to be a little more proactive. I am continually touching base with the local health director and our school physician, and they are in line with the protocols that we currently are implementing. I do want to talk about the special education plan. We had an audit, as you guys are aware, and after the audit, we shared the findings with the public. I then met with our administrative team. I met with child study team. I met with committees of the Board of Ed. And we started really prioritizing some of the actions and what we want to get done year 1. And we will continue to evaluate as we're working through next year on some of these goals. There's I believe it's 5 categories overall that we've put our action plan under. Communication is the first category. We're looking to improve the information on the website to make sure that additional information and resources are available to parents on our website. We are looking to start a new parent induction program. What we also want to do, make sure those parents who are entering the IEP process for the first time have a better understanding of what that process is like. So we're going to make sure that we're providing them with some information of what to expect when they are going through the IEP meeting. One of the requests we had that we found out through the audit were students who were placed out of district, that parents still wanted to be on district and grade level emails, and that's something that we actually address immediately. And we will have by next school year the IEP available through family access, so parents will have access to the IEP electronically at any time. With our child study team, we're looking at analyzing the need of a paraprofessional versus co-teachers in grades 7 through 12. That's something that the auditor mentioned, that we really need to take a look at that and utilize our staff better. And we want the child study team to make sure that they're following every protocol by state standards. So we're going to create a checklist to make sure that is happening. Staffing-wise, well, we saw a need for a lot more staff to address some of the student needs, and that's something that was reflected in our budget. We do have several special education positions that are being added for next school year. Instructional, we are looking to revise our academic development course, and for that includes some more executive functioning training. We are looking to create co-teaching models, so there's going to be some professional development involved in that. We want to make sure our paraprofessionals are well trained and understand expectations when they're in the classroom. And we, as an entire staff, we want to make sure our teachers are fully aware of the IEP and what it means to implement that. So we will be providing training for them. Operation-wise, we are adding a BCABA, so we want to review how we're allocating our ABA program. So because we'll have additional staff, we are going to review district IRS and develop consistent district practices. So we'll look at that through a pre-K through 12 model. We're going to analyze our special education course enrollments to make sure that students have the opportunity to take courses on the honors and AP level. We want to make sure we're enhancing our school culture, and that's something that we've done in the past with some building level programs and assemblies. And we're looking to develop a 3-year professional development plan and create outside partnerships with various groups. So that's a pretty extensive plan. We will be updating that as we go through next school year, and we're hoping to make great strides in that, and we're pleased with our initial plan for next year. The other component is we recently, back in late winter, we completed the strategic planning. I do want to recognize the team members. They volunteered their time. It included students, teachers, administrators, board members, parents, and community members. These individuals worked together to come up with an extensive plan. It involved coming here 6 nights, involved some homework assignments, and it involved some healthy discussions during the sessions. So the challenge was to get everyone to have a consensus, and I'm going to just give a summary of what came out of the strategic planning process. Over the summer, we're going to go more detail as part of the board's retreat about strategic planning. Our new mission statement is every student inspired, engaged, and supported. So that's something that we're going to try to live by as we move forward. We looked at statements of value and vision statements under these categories: safety and wellness, teaching and learning, leadership and governance, community and culture, finance and facilities. After creating these statements of values and vision statements, and again, it was a matter of consensus among the team. If we didn't agree with something, we had to make a suggestion. There was a lot of back and forth discussions, which is what you want in this process. It shouldn't be smooth. It should be a process where there's disagreements and what we value and need to come out to the forefront. We use data to determine gap analysis, where there were strengths and weaknesses and what we needed to address. And out of these statements came our 5 goals. Raise awareness for and improve access to academic policies and procedures, including those related to academic integrity. Promote global awareness through the connections between academics and the real world. Improve the communication patterns and processes universally. included as they pertain to special education, establish the steps that children and adults can take to improve their connection with available counseling professionals and other student support staff, provide improved access and transparency to parents and students regarding the district's curricula and activities in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and social emotional learning. Two of the recent audits that we've had, you can see embedded in here. At the beginning of this year, we were presented with a equity audit, and as I mentioned earlier, we had the special education audit. So those are topics that are valued by the district, and you can see that's why they're involved in embedded in the strategic planning. And as I mentioned, we'll get more into this during the summer months. I do want to mention quickly, earlier this year, we recognized Betsy's 20 years of service to the Board of Education, and one of the goals we had was to create a garden in her honor, and we thought it was fitting to do so at Central School, since she was such a vital part of us acquiring Central School. So we had to clean out an area that was very rocky and some old roots in it. I do thank the custodial staff for helping us out there. And then we put in some edging and put in some quality soil, and we did have a couple board members plant this past weekend. The garden's up. We're going to put a plaque and have a little ceremony later in Betsy's honor. So I did want to share that with the crowd. And last, I just want to, as I mentioned, the end of the year, a lot of events are going on throughout the district, and I just listed them. This is the type of calendar we typically have when we're not in a pandemic year, so it's terrific that we're seeing events happen. We still will be monitoring the situation, and if we have to make adjustments, we will. But hopefully all these events can happen without any problems. And that's my report.
Thanks, Derek. Thank you to my colleagues who dug and presumably dealt with some of those rocks and roots, and thank you for the honor. Okay, going on with our business. It is the time for the first public comment for comments on agenda items. The protocol for those who are unfamiliar is if you have a comment, please come up to the lectern, sign in, identify yourself, confirm your Glen Ridge residence and or affiliation if you're affiliated with any group. We have a 2-minute time limit, which will be timed by my colleague, Ms. O'Neill. And then if you have more than one comment, please give all your comments at once, and we will try to respond in the order that you've given them. So does anyone have a public comment?
I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, for our retreat, are we also going to be talking about the special education plan, or should I ask questions about that now?
Either or. If you'd like to ask questions now, feel free, and we're certainly, it's a plan. It's going to be ongoing. We're going to have discussions.
Then I can wait. If we're not, then I'm...
Yes, we're going to discuss it down the road also.
Okay. All right. Public comment.
Hi, Phil Johnson, 55 Chestnut Hill Place in Glen Ridge. I'm very proud to have a graduating senior this year.
Congratulations.
With the graduation coming up on June 17th. One thing I have found a little bit missing is any communication about the graduation itself. We have not received any information about the location, if there's a rain date, any limitations on tickets, particularly for people who are having extended family travel from out of town to celebrate this very important milestone. And I'd very much appreciate if you could provide additional clarity to the parents of the graduating seniors in terms of what the plan is and when communications will be coming out to the parents. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I will make sure I will have Mr. Lawler on top of that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments? Jocelyn.
I do have a follow-up question, Dirk, to your presentation on the special ed action plan for the year one. Could you just speak for a moment about how all of those tasks are going to be divvied up across the special ed team and between like building administration administrators and the child study team members?
So it's going to be a combination of individuals, whether it's, like as you mentioned, some of them will be done through child study team members, some of it will be done by the Director of Student Services, some of them will be overseen by myself, and we have a new supervisor of interventions programs coming in, and they're going to oversee some of the programs like the IRS program. That's something that's directly that will be under their supervision.
Okay, any other comments or questions? All right, and just as a reminder, we have a second public comment period at the end of the meeting for comments on agenda items or other items that pertain to the running of the schools. And now, board members, it is the first meeting of the month, and it's time for committee and liaison reports. Michael, can we start with you?
Sure. So in terms of negotiations, we are meeting with the GREA tomorrow night for a new session on our negotiations there. With regard to the curriculum committee met, I think, last week, and we had an update on the review of the mathematics curriculum, and we also talked about new offerings relating to teaching phonics, and we discussed the strategic planning initiatives.
Okay, thank you. Jocelyn?
So the Ridgewood Home and School meeting occurred last month on April 25th when we were here, and they talked a lot about everything that's going on as this list reflects. So there was a book fair that happened in person and was successful. The transition activities are underway for the second graders to have buddies with Ridgewood third graders, and for the sixth graders to go over to the middle school as well. Legally Blonde was a great success. They had a career fair with 27 parent participants serving on panels, and fifth and sixth graders were able to go to 3 different parent 20-minute sessions on talking about different occupations. The Rob Romp is coming up on the 27th. So just a lot of activity going on there. There's coming up a parent social on May 26th, and the Rob Romp, as I mentioned, on the 27th, and then field day on June 2nd. So the sixth grade promotion will be June 14th, and there are lots of activities planned around that as well. And the next meeting will be, I think, June 3rd. It's a Friday morning. Grace is meeting this week on Wednesday at 7:30. There's an MS Teams link that went out. If anyone's interested, you can email the Grace mailbox if you haven't received that, or email Mr. DeWitt. Grace is also looking for parent leaders for the upcoming year because the current leadership is transitioning out. They're looking for people to help facilitate meetings, set up speakers, handle correspondence, and just generally to get involved. So if anyone is interested in that, please write to the Grace link that's on the Student Services website. It's I think glenridgegrace@gmail.com. And then just as a side note, I attended the New Jersey School Board Association Delegate Assembly this weekend. So people coming from school boards all across the state, and we approved some changes to policies that I think were also, I don't know that anybody is going to be too preoccupied by them, because it's like, how many hours of education do the board members of the New Jersey School Board Association need to complete prior to being a voting member? And so nothing major there, but I do think it's worth noting that there's a change in leadership of that organization, and the current executive director is retiring, and new executive director is starting in August, and that organization provides a lot of support to this school board. So things like settlement agreements across the state of New Jersey, so we can see what the trends are for negotiations. There's a lot of professional development that they provide for board members around finance and negotiations and communications and other board committees. They do professional development as well for other administrators and district employees. Every year they have a big seminar, and they bring people in to talk about best practices across the state. So it's just nice to be in touch with that group. So sorry to go on for so long.
Did they, Jocelyn, announce the name of the next executive director?
Yes, so you might know him because he comes from Montclair. And sorry, let me just find his name. Dr. Tim Purnell.
Oh, Tim Purnell. He's a great individual.
So that's
He was superintendent in Somerville,
yeah.
and then he went to one of the children's organizations. And Montessori, that's right. Oh, well, that's excellent news. He's young, he's vibrant, he's great. Thank you. Heather?
Sure. Linden Home and School met at the end of April during our budget presentation meeting, or right before it. They had a lot of events in May. They had Visiting Author Day with Matt DeLaPen. They had Maker Day the past Friday. They had 2 assemblies, one with the Essex County Environmental Center and then a Mad Science presentation. It's Spring Fling they had last weekend. I saw that as I went by. There's still some openings at the officer level, so if anyone's interested, they should reach out about that. And there's still a couple of committee openings as well. Let's see, they already did that. They did a community service. There was a sneaker drive going on. That's open till, nope, that's done. Sorry. Let's see, that already happened too. The second grade parent night out, they had that again. You may have seen lawn signs for the rising second graders around town, my end. It sounds like the second grade magician night hasn't happened yet, but that must be coming up soon. They already had picture days for the second graders. Let's see, they have a move-up day for the second graders, and then they're going to have a play date with the Forest second graders at Carteret. Yeah, I think that might be it. Oh, and there's a spring music concert they haven't had yet. That's really soon. And there's an arts and eco fair at the end of May. Yeah, that's it. They have a lot of stuff going on right now.
Thank you. Kristen?
I think the arts and eco fairs put on by the high school, and all the schools are participating in it with the art projects. Speaking for the gas lamp, they don't have much of an update. Their younger program performs The Little Mermaid this coming Saturday at Ridgewood, and then their teen program is performing their Miscast Cabaret in New York on June 12th, and you can catch a sneak peek performance at the Eco Fair this Saturday.
Thank you. Duval?
Yes, Forest Avenue School also met the last meeting we had here. And they were gearing up for their big 80s night parent fundraiser, which I understand was quite a success, although I don't have numbers. I did hear through the grapevine that lots of fun was had and lots of wild dancing ensued, but all good. Similar to Linden, there's been a litany of activities and events at the school, and flocking has begun. So we are seeing pink flamingos on the north side of town these days. So that's a lot of fun. And their next meeting will be Thursday, June 2nd, and it will be at Fitzgerald's Sidecar. So it will be a bit more of a relaxed social setting for their last home and school meeting of the year.
Okay, Tracy?
Central School has had to postpone their home and school meeting a couple of times due to illnesses amongst the key players. So I have no update from them. The Educational Foundation met on Thursday, May 12th, which was last Thursday, and they voted to approve several grants, several very generous grants, and they discussed their upcoming anniversary party, which will be next spring, April 15th. They're looking for to get the community around a theme that yet to be decided. So we're all looking forward to hearing about that. Personnel met on May 10th. We discussed some open positions. We touched upon the strategic plan and talked a bit about how we'll be tackling that at our retreat. We talked about several changes to policies, most of which are state policy changes. And we discussed the renewal of teachers for next school year.
Thank you. The high school home and school has yet to meet, so there's no report from them. And since my colleague, Mr. Campbell, is not with us, nor my colleague, Mr. Bonnet, That is the end of our reports. You have in your packages minutes from the meeting of April 25th, executive session and regular session. Does anyone have any changes to those minutes? Okay. If that is the case, Michael, would you move the minutes? May I have a second? Second from Jocelyn. If there are no changes, Ms. Boswell, would you call the roll?
Mr. Bonnet, Mr. Campbell, Mr. DeLue, Mr. Gottlieb, Miss Gottlieb. Ms. Graham,
Aye.
Miss O'Neill,
Aye.
Miss St. Albern,
Aye.
Dr. Yaros Ramos, Miss Ginsburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, we have some administrative items. Michael, would you move the administrative items? And? Okay, may I have a second? Second from Kristen. Any questions on those administrative items? No? All right, Ms. Boswell, would you call the roll?
Mr. DeLue, Miss Gottlieb, Miss Graham,
Aye.
Miss O'Neill,
Aye.
Miss St. Albern,
Aye.
Dr. Yaros Ramos,
Abstain for A1 and I to A2.
Miss Ginsburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Tracy, would you move the personnel items?
Certainly. I move P1 through P8.
May I have a second?
Oh, is there P9?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're right. P9. I apologize. Thank you.
Okay, may I have a second? Second from Michael. In keeping with our rules, personnel items are discussed in executive session. If no one has an objection, no board member has an objection, we'll go forward. Any objections to moving on personnel? Okay, Ms. Boswell?
Mr. DeLue, Miss Gottlieb, Miss Graham,
Aye.
Miss O'Neill,
Aye.
Miss St. Albern,
Aye.
Dr. Yaros Ramos, Miss Ginsburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Michael, would you move the curriculum items? Thank you. May I have a second? Second from Heather. Any questions on these curriculum items? Okay. Ms. Boswell, would you call the roll?
Mr. DeLue, Miss Gottlieb, Miss Graham,
Aye.
Miss O'Neill,
Aye.
Miss St. Albern,
Aye.
Dr. Yaros Ramos, Miss Ginsburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Business. We don't have a Mr. Campbell. Let's see. We do have a Mr. Campbell. He is just not here. Let's see. Who would like? Duval, would you move the business items?
I'll move the business items. B1 through B16.
Okay. May I have a second? Second from Heather. Any questions on these numerous business items, which of course have been reviewed by the Finance Committee?
Yes, we're, I'm trying to think which content area. It's a dual enrollment program, much like we have with Stevens with engineering and recently with Rutgers with Chinese. I believe this is for French and Spanish. Am I right? Winnie, do you? AP. Yeah, the AP French and Spanish classes. So students can pay a fee and earn college credits while enrolled in their AP classes.
It's something the state has been encouraging is dual enrollments, and I think more and more districts are doing them. Okay, we've had a motion and a second. Any other questions on the business items? All right, Ms. Boswell, would you call the roll?
Mr. DeLue, Ms. Gottlieb, Ms. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill, Ms. St. Auburn,
Aye.
Dr. Yaros Ramos, Ms. Ginsburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, we've come to the second public comment period for comments on agenda items or other items related to the running of the schools. The rules, the same rules apply. Does anyone have a public comment? No? Okay.
Betsy, could I wanted to ask
Sure.
a question following up on the Seton Hall,
Sure.
credit. Well, is that program, do we anticipate that that would be expanded? You said it was AP French and AP Spanish students would be getting potential credit?
Correct.
Is it
The Chinese at Rutgers, we're looking to continue to have some agreements with local colleges depending on the course. They have a set of criteria that our teachers must meet, so there has to be a match between the college and our staff.
Okay, I was just curious why some schools had some offerings and others. Just depends. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any last chance for public comment? I know everybody's anxious to get home because, I don't know, it will be storming and everything will be falling from the sky. Okay, seeing none, may I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Tracy, may I have a second? Second from Michael. Thank you all. Stay safe.